You've had one of the youngest executive to entrepreneur transitions in Sri Lanka. What made you walk away from corporate security to build something from scratch?
Well, yes, I was one of the youngest C-suite members in the corporates in Sri Lanka. Yes, the paycheck was really good and the title was very fancy, but something felt really off. Because at the end of the day, you're working for someone else and not on your own dreams. Like the brand BYD says, build your dreams. It doesn't say build someone else's dream. So that's why I decided to move out of it and build something of our own.
Was there a single aha moment when you knew Starlist had to exist?
Yeah, there definitely was. So I've seen marketers in Sri Lanka trying to find influencers and sort of failing at it. Back in 2022, I was living in Lisbon, Portugal, and over there we were trying to find some influencers for some corporate campaigns, but we failed miserably. So at that point, that was like my aha moment where I realized this was not a Sri Lankan issue, but it was a problem worldwide. So that's when I came back to Sri Lanka to start working on Starlist.
What's the biggest personal risk you took to get here?
I think there have been a lot of personal risks involved in this journey. I would say the biggest one is betting my reputation, which involved leaving a stable corporate career and also burning almost all my savings on, making this startup dream come true.
For someone who's never heard of Starlist, how would you describe it in one sentence?
Oh yeah, that's very simple. Simply put, Starlist is the LinkedIn for content creators.
What's the hardest part about building a tech platform while also growing a creator community?
It's actually like building two separate startups at the same time, because one is built on code and the other one is built on culture. So it's just like running two startups parallelly all at once.
If you could go back to day one of building Starlist, what's the one thing you'd do differently?
I don't think I'll change anything about our journey because, well, it has not been perfect. We've had our ups and downs. But having said that, if we knew more about this topic before starting, I don't think we would have started at all because we would have seen too many risks and we would have opted out of this. So sometimes ignorance can be a bliss by itself.
Why was Dubai such a turning point for you in Starlist?
Because up until Dubai, Starlist was just a Sri Lankan story. But after Dubai, it became part of a global conversation. And the conversation here was much different because conversations over there did not ask about what Starlist is. They merely asked how big can this get. So it was a different layer of competition, a different layer of players in Dubai.
Did that trip change how international investors and creators see you?
Definitely, it did change how we were perceived internationally. All kudos to our incubator, which is In5 Dubai. We got a lot of international level exposure via this program, especially to mention the STEP conference, which is one of the largest startup stages in the world, where we got to present Starlist there in front of hundreds of investors as well. And happy to say we were one of the top 6 startups in Dubai during this year's STEP conference.
Any only in Dubai moment that still makes you laugh or think today?
I think starting off in Dubai itself is a funny moment. So it was myself and Ruchira, who's here with me. Ruchira is our Chief Growth Officer. So the two of us landed in Dubai last year. When we started off, we did not have any idea about how to start a business in Dubai or where to look for investors. So everything was built from scratch in Dubai. And special to mention, Ruchira played a huge role in this whole journey because more than me, he's more of a better communicator. So he was able to get the network in and sort out the Starlist journey in Dubai.
Why did you decide to make Starlist a media voice for creators?
Because content creators also need their own BBC and their own CNN. Because right now what we see is the glamorous part of their lives, but we hardly see the story behind their success and also what happens behind the scenes. So that's why we created Starlist News.
How has being a media player shaped your relationship with influencers?
In terms of media, we actually got on to a very weird start. Back in 2023, when we started Starlist News, the very first post on our page was about a particular influencer with about 150,000 followers. As soon as we posted this, she messaged us back saying, hey, can you just remove this post? If you don't remove it, I'll be taking legal action against you. So this was how we started Starlist News, but that didn't really discourage us. We just kept going until the bigger players in the market started, sharing our content. And 7 to 8 months after this particular incident, the same influencer reached out to us asking, hey, whether you can publish news about me. So that's how much we've shifted things over a span of few months.
You've faced big personal and business setbacks. How do you bounce back?
I think my biggest reset button would be gratitude, because my worst day could be someone else's dream day. So I think you just can't take anything for granted.
How do you keep balance between ambition and mental well-being in such a fast-moving space?
All right, I think this might be a controversial answer, but this is my point of view. So when it comes to pursuing ambitious goals, I don't think we should seek balance, because when you're going behind something ambitious, when your targets are sky high, there are certain periods and phases in life, your life will be off balance, and you just have to find different ways to be comfortable with it. And that's all I could say about it.
If we meet again 5 years from now, what do you want Starlist to have achieved by then?
Just as I said in the start, we want to be the LinkedIn for content creators. So 5 years from now, I'm imagining Starlist would be used by millions of creators and marketers, not just in Sri Lanka, but worldwide.
You've said most influencers are broke, but no one talks about it. Why do you think the industry hides this reality?
Image is the ultimate currency in the influencer industry. So just like a magician who does not reveal its tricks, the influencers will also not really reveal their real lifestyles. So that's part of being in this industry.
Why do brands keep wasting millions on the wrong creators?
So a lot of brands right now, they focus on the follower count of an influencer when they are picking influencers for a particular campaign. And I think that's a very wrong way to go about it, because they fail to take into account the engagement rates, the demographics, the audience stats, and as well as the credibility of the particular influencer. So in that case, if an influencer has millions of followers, but still if the audience does not find this influencer to be credible, then there's actually no point in it. So that's why we are actually building Starlist, in order to bring more transparency across different layers in the industry.